I get a phone call from, he's not here right now. I don't know where he is because I wish he would be here. He's probably right outside. By a person by the name of Reb Shimon Kol Yaakov. And Reb Shimon Kol Yaakov is just entered. And as we practice, very good, very good. The reason why most of you are religious, I don't know. So, happens to be, so what happens is I get a phone call from Reb Shimon Kol Yaakov, who is one of the founders of TorahAnytime. So if you want his autograph, afterwards you could see him, and I take a 10% thing. Okay, so spiritual, not dollars. So anyway, so he calls me up and he says there is an amazing speaker that's in here, and we want to arrange, we want to arrange like classes. He's unbelievable. He said to me a few things which I'm not going to say about Rabbi Mizrahi, which is here somewhere, is in the back. Why? Because there are two times when you have to give praises to somebody. Number one is by Sheva Brachot, and number two, it's by the eulogy. So Baruch Hashem, he's not by both. So I'm not going to say what Reb Shimon Kol Yaakov told me about this tzaddik who's going to be speaking after me. But he said, he's like, this is going to be, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be huge. He's going to be the next, and he threw some big names. This is who this Rabbi Mizrahi is going to be next. So trust me, because I trust Reb Shimon Kol Yaakov when he says there is a good speaker. When you're dealing with somebody that knows speakers, because that's what he breathes. It's like everything that happens is like TorahAnytime has how many speakers? 5, 6, 7, over 1,000 speakers, and they vet each and every single one. I don't know how I got on, but they vet every single one, and for only the best are able to go on there. And when you have somebody that vets every single one and says this one is going to be huge, this one is going to be great, say no more. I'm sold. Right? This is it's unbelievable what's going to happen. So when Reb Shimon tells you that somebody is going to be good, somebody is going to be big, that somebody is going to be speaking after me as soon as whenever I decide to finish. So, you think I forgot? I didn't forget. This was on my mind since the beginning, but thank you. So, there's another introduction that I didn't make, and that is, anybody here familiar with something known as blue chip stocks? Nobody? Does anybody know what stocks are? Okay. Blue chip stocks are known as the high elite. Come on, I don't believe that. Nobody here knows what blue chip stocks are? Okay, there's a little bit, sometimes on Wednesdays. So there's something unbelievable when you look at stocks. There's some stocks that are sort of like the shvachamaises, like they're the ones that are like, okay, fine, you have nothing else to buy, you buy that, and then you have one of the blue chip stocks are like the high elite of the stocks. You're talking about the high that if you know that somebody has like stock in Google and Apple, in Intel, in Disney. There's certain stocks that are General Electric. There's certain stocks that are known as blue chip stocks. So now, in the way that it works is those stocks are always doing generally well. I'm not talking about when the stock market crashes, but generally they're doing well. When you're dealing with spiritual stock, there's something very interesting. When you deal with physical stocks versus spiritual stocks, so when you deal with physical stocks, so the more that you invest earlier on, the greater your dividends are. The more that the stock is, the more that you make a return on your investment, the more the money that you make. Now, when TorahAnytime, I remember even when the first time, I heard of TorahAnytime years ago. How long has it been going on for? 13 years? Unbelievable. It must have been like 8 or 9 years, like in the old website where there was still like a little bit of views. Sometimes they put it on there. You still I'm talking about in the olden day website when I found TorahAnytime, and I was like, this is crazy. You know what this is? This is going to be the next Google, spiritually speaking. Hopefully also in the monetary world, but in the spiritual world, it's going to be like a Google style, type of stock. Now, what happened was then I was like, okay, you hear about this, and you started sending it out to people and be like, hey, by the way, check this out. This is an amazing website. Now, why is that so imperative to do that right when something begins? Because when you know something or something is going to be big, something is going to be great, you want to capitalize on it right then and there. So if you're able to go and capitalize on TorahAnytime, let's say right when it started, when nobody else knew it, and you send it to 15 friends or 50 friends, depending how popular you are, I don't know, right? For your own imagination, right? You send it to everybody you know, and 20 of them signed on. And from, like, what I mean signed on is they started listening. And from them, more. And obviously they get more people and they get more people. I'm not talking about a pyramid scheme. I'm just talking about in the spiritual world, what's going on. Now, because of you introduced them to something, so you have a part of that zchut. A part of that zchut belongs to you. You're the one who introduced them. So when you get into an organization that is right in the beginning, and they're going to be huge, you could capitalize. If you're a smart businessman, spiritually or physically, you could capitalize it right then and there. So, unfortunately, fortunately, TorahAnytime is no longer little business. It's the biggest of the big in the Torah world. Right? This is the biggest website that you could have when it deals to listening to online Torah classes. Biggest. There's nothing else, to my knowledge. And so you think about, okay, what's going on? But there's something else that happened. Is that very, very recently, TorahAnytime opened up a new division, let's call it. And that division is known as the Daily Dose. Now, what's so important about this Daily Dose? This Daily Dose, in our AD&D, or ADDH, DABC, all the other letters of all, age, it's very difficult for people to go and sit and listen to a whole class, or to sit and listen to an hour or two, or depending on the speaker that you're listening to. So what TorahAnytime did is something fascinating. He said, listen, you're driving, you're running, you're busy, 1 minute, 2 minutes. You can listen to 2 minutes. I'm like, come on, everybody can listen to like 2. You don't have 2 minutes in your day. Who are you that you don't have 2 minutes in the day? You got to have 2 minutes. So every single day, they clip out like the most amazing, there's like a lot of work goes into it. There's like music in the right places if you really notice it, right? And then there's like letters and there's words and there's like stuff going around about it. There's a lot of work that was placed into it for like the 1 or 2 minutes. But you're able to do that. And you're able to go and, subscribe to that and listen to that. And all of a sudden you're able to gain, from that. Now, TorahAnytime is huge. But right now, this is still growing. So this, you have an option to capitalize on it. Now, I'm sure every single one of you sitting in the room here is already subscribed to this TorahAnytime Daily Dose. But if you're not, take down this number. We've done this before. I'll wait until every single person has a phone out. All right? If you don't have a phone, you already have it? You gave out the card. Oh, I didn't even read it. Okay, everybody has this card. But for the people that are listening online, they don't have the cards. Amazing cards. All right? It's brought to you by Kagan Water. Thank you. And it's amazing, by the way. Okay, we're not going to get into the Japanese, right? Japanese. Okay, whatever. Anyways, so for anybody in the online world, if you want to subscribe to this, right, it's 929 plus 1 if you don't live in America. I've never known what this plus 1 is. Have you ever wondered, like that? They like tell you, okay, what's your number? Like plus 1? Like, where are you from? Like, no, we just have, the zip code. Everybody else does the plus stuff, like plus 440. Like we don't deal with that. But anyways, plus 1. 929-355-4268. Again, that's 929-355-4268. You send them a text message in WhatsApp, your social security number. I'm sorry, that was for my Nigerian friends. You send to them the words, add me. You said, add me. Right? It's very, very simple. Then they add you to the subscription. But that's not really what I want to get at, because I'm sure every single one of you guys have it. But try to get somebody else who doesn't have it. Try to go and send it out and say, hey, listen, you gotta listen to this. It's sick. It's unbelievable. Maybe even this clip, maybe even what I'm saying right now will maybe make it one day into this, this crazy, daily dose. When you think about it, go and get one person to sign on, because all those schuyot of whatever that person listens to is all on you. So if you're a smart businessman or a businesswoman, entrepreneur, whatever it is that you want to call yourself, do yourself a favor and get this out there. Get this out there. You have so much reward that you have coming to you. One final thing before we finish our introduction is, you think, okay, now TorahAnytime is big, so how could I get part of it? Generally, the way it works when you have big tech companies, so when they build up the company, what happens is usually the first investors, invest a certain amount of money, they get a certain percentage. Then they have a second round of investment, then you have a third round of investment, depending on on the structure of the company. The earlier on that you get, the more money that you give, the more of the percentage that you have of the company, generally speaking. Now, you think, okay, TorahAnytime is huge already. Like, okay, it's done. There's nothing that I could do. Everybody knows about TorahAnytime, like practically, right? Any normal human being knows about TorahAnytime. So when you think about it, what can you do? And the answer is there's something so beautiful that TorahAnytime doesn't charge for anything. They don't do anything. They do a lot. They don't do anything financially asking. All they ask, you know how they run? They run based on the little donations that every single one gives, or the big donations, depending how much you want to open up your checkbook tonight, or your credit card, or whatever it is that you're donating with. Every single one has the opportunity. Tisha B'Av is when the biggest fundraiser, right? The biggest fundraiser is on Tisha B'Av. So you have the opportunity. Now it's a huge corporation, but you have the opportunity to buy in. You have the opportunity to buy in. So do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Do everybody a favor. The entire Klal Yisrael, because we all benefit from this. Go at some point tonight. Don't wait until like Tisha B'Av. Go give something to TorahAnytime. TorahAnytime is a group of people. I know most of them personally, and these are people that love Torah. I've never done it. I don't even know if I said this ever on camera, but one of my first conversations I had with somebody, the higher ups of TorahAnytime, I told them after I finished the conversation, I said, now I know. I said, I always wondered, I always asked my wife, what was the schut of these people to go and start this? You know the schut that is? That's like a schut of generations to come. Like, where did they get the schut? And when the first conversation that I have with somebody, I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name. Can I say his name? His name is, I'll say the first name. His name is Yosef. I had a conversation with Yosef, and I told Yosef, and I said, now I know why God gave you the ability to go and be involved in the startup of such a great, great organization. And I was like, okay, this is the reason. This is the reason, because of him. And then I met the next person. And I met Reuven, and then I met Shimon, and then I met all these people, and I'm like, it's very obvious and very clear why God decided to choose these righteous people as going to be the one to spread Torah to the entire world. So, a round of applause, please, for TorahAnytime and for everything it is that they do.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.